What multiversal ramifications did the Marvels have on the future of the MCU? The recent release of The Marvels saw Kamala Khan finally being promoted to the rank of an official cosmic hero, fighting alongside Carol Danvers and Maria Rambeau in order to save not just Earth, but several other planets in the process. It seems, however, that on their journey, they, much like several other MCU heroes, have broken into the multiverse. Spoilers lie ahead for The Marvels. At the end of the film, Monica is tasked with repairing a hole in space-time, and inadvertently gets trapped in another dimension in the process. At first, it's unclear if this is a rip in the multiverse, or simply somewhere at the end of space, but the post-credit scene reveals exactly where Monica landed. Today, my friends, let's discuss everything we know about this new Earth from the post-credit scene of The Marvels. The post-credit scene sees Monica waking up in a medical facility next to an alternate version of Maria Rambeau. From here, she has a diagnostic run by none other than Beast of the X-Men, Hank McCoy. Here, we get a few clues as to what exactly this universe has in store, beginning of course with the presence of the X-Men. What's very important to note here is that it doesn't seem as if this Earth is 838 for a few reasons. First, and most obviously, is that Maria Rambeau and Charles Xavier are both still alive.
I'll take it from here.
Charles asked for an update. I'll come by and check on you later.
As Beast directly references having spoken with Charles very recently. This could simply take place in the past of Earth 838 before Wanda landed in that reality. But there are other clues that show that this is not Earth 838. Next is Maria's rebrand going from binary instead of Captain Marvel. And finally, the biggest clue that we have is the proximity of this Earth to the MCU mainline universe. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, America and Doctor Strange crash through several realities across the span of several minutes, before finally landing on Earth 838. This Earth, however, is right next door since there was just one hole in space that was torn open, so this universe seems to run directly parallel with the Earth that we know. For all these reasons, it seems as though this reality is not Earth 838. So for the time being, let's refer to this as Earth X until it receives an official designation. So what exactly do we know about Earth X? Let's discuss. The first thing we know is that if an incursion is going to happen in the mainline universe, that this reality is one of the likeliest to be on a collision course with the mainline MCU. Since they are right next door to one another, it's also easiest for other characters in the MCU to access it and vice versa. For years now, we have been theorizing as to exactly how the X-Men will make their jump into the MCU. Between this channel and several others, we as a collective have amassed a treasure trove of different options. As one of the most popular ideas, it has been long theorized that the X-Men will be introduced into the proper timeline via multiversal travel. With the debut of Earth X, it seems like this is becoming a much more likely possibility. It's possible that in the coming years, we might see the destruction of Earth X in some way or another, and one that seeks to rehome these X-Men, causing them to populate the mainline MCU. This allows them to have a rich history with one another without having to start completely from scratch, and would see them as multiversal nomads. The idea would greatly contribute to what the X-Men already stand for, and gives the world a different view of them. In the comics, the world hates and persecutes the mutants regularly, yet in the mainline MCU, humans are already acclimated to superhumans, aliens, and much more. It is possible that the mainline Earth will persecute these X-Men not for being mutants, but for being immigrants that do not belong in this reality. If the story goes this way, there are certain benefits as well as drawbacks, but it could provide a neatly tied explanation for where they've been all this time, and give them an origin without having to start from scratch. The presence and presentation of Beast and the reference to Charles Xavier is clearly setting up this universe's depiction of the X-Men. But based on Beast's appearance, we are led to believe that these mutants will be faithfully comic accurate. The Fox franchise broke a tremendous amount of ground in the superhero movie community, and should be praised for its impact on the superhero genre, but despite its work, it has historically been a bit shy about presenting mutants in authentic comic accurate attire. Instead, many of the projects opt instead for black leather jumpsuits or coordinated uniforms. While this links them together as a team and presents them as a unit, it dulls the colorful nature of the 90s animated series and the comics of the X-Men. In the Fox franchise, the glimpses that we get at comic accurate suits are short-lived, and often abandoned in following projects. If the MCU is determined to bring faithfully adapted X-Men suits into live action, then this is a huge step in not just differentiating them from the Fox X-Men, but also welcoming this new roster into the larger fold. This also leaves us to wonder if Deadpool 3 might in some way impact this universe, since the aesthetic seems to be strikingly similar. Leaks for Deadpool suggest that the original idea was for Deadpool to travel to Earth 838, and that this is where he finds this version of Wolverine that we've seen in the behind-the-scenes pictures. Recently, however, it has been rumored that references to Earth 838 are being removed, and Wanda's destruction of the Illuminati has now been shortened. This Wolverine may very well still be from Earth 838, but at this point in time, we don't know what changes to the script has happened in the recent months. We also know that this version of the character was being played once again by Kelsey Grammer, Beast, who was last seen as the character in X-Men The Last Stand, which we know is no longer canon to the Fox timeline. Since Kelsey Grammer has returned to this role, it's possible that some other beloved cast members might be returning as X-Men as well. We know that Charles Xavier was once again played by Sir Patrick Stewart in Doctor Strange 2, and they are likely far from the returning cast members. Given the actor's age, however, it would be in Marvel's best interest to recast some of the older actors, but younger ones may make a return. In addition to this, we can presume that Carol Danvers either is not powered or received her powers in a different way than on the mainline universe. Earlier in the movie, Carol asserts that it should have been Maria to receive her powers, and cites their race to the hangar as the sole reason why Carol was empowered over Maria. It appears as though this race happened on several timelines, and whoever wins gets granted the cosmic abilities of Captain Marvel. On Earth X and 838, Maria won, while in the mainline universe, Carol won. On Earth X, Maria is going by the name Binary, which is a direct reference to Carol's most powerful form. This binary form was achieved when Carol finally unlocked the full potential of her powers, and was referenced at the end of the first Captain Marvel film when she tore apart the Kree fleet. Most recently, the title of Binary was attributed to the living manifestation of Carol's powers, which formed when she inadvertently duplicated herself and made her power set sentient. On Earth X, however, it seems that Maria won this race and was gifted the powers of Captain Marvel and took on the name of Binary in the process. Carol might be sporting her black and gold Miss Marvel uniform or going by Captain Marvel as well, but it's equally as likely that she never received her powers to begin with. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of Earth X? Do you think that this universe will be the origin point for the MCU's mutants? And do you think that they will be rehomed to the mainline Earth? And if so, what calamity might bring about the end of this reality? Will it be Kang, an incursion, or perhaps even someone like Doctor Strange? Thank you as always so much for visiting the channel today. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and have a great one.